on to related news. So this was also revealed in the showcase. And I thought this was like super, super clever. Sony revealed the PlayStation Plus collection. So, one of the questions that people had, so with PlayStation Plus, you get, it used to be, a PlayStation 4 game, PlayStation 3 game, PlayStation Vita game, and then it evolved just a PlayStation 4 game, usually one or two. Recent ones have been really good. You've had Street Fighter 5, Fall Guys, stuff like that. That's awesome. But then, the question became, what are they going to do with PlayStation 5? Are they going to release a game for free? Like one of the launch titles, are they going to make it free? Like how are they going to manage that? So what they've done is they've actually said that 18, and I would actually say 18 of the best PlayStation 4 games are going to be available through backwards compatibility at launch of the PS5. And just to be clear, this is only on the PS5 with PlayStation Plus. So you can't get PlayStation Plus for the PS4 and then unlock these 18 games. It's, just on the PlayStation 5. We'll cover all the titles in the bargain bin, but, these are the Gods of the War, Last of Us Remastered, Monster Hunter World, which is thematic for this episode, Persona 5, like really huge heavy hitters. It's still not clear, and I've done like a lot of research on it. It's really not clear if this is they're going to allow this for the first month or year or 6 months or permanently, like how that actually works. Because the way it works with PlayStation Plus is if you don't unlock the games in that month that they're available, they go away, which is, similar to Xbox Game with Gold. So that's kind of up in the air. I wouldn't imagine they would only allow like a 1 month or 2 month window, because I think that would really piss people off who weren't able to get the console. But, I wouldn't be shocked if they made it so, to unlock this, you needed to get the console in, say, before March or something like that to unlock it. So I'm sure more details will come out shortly. The other interesting thing on this is, Jim Ryan, again, the CEO of Sony, was really clear that this is not going to become Game Pass. Because a lot of people are already saying, oh, this is PlayStation's Game Pass. They've said, hey, this doesn't make sense. It's also a bit of a swipe at Microsoft. The economics of Game Pass don't stack up. And this is really just a way to celebrate the PlayStation 4 library. And, especially people who are new to PlayStation, hey, here's like 18 great games that you can start with, and then all the launch titles that are coming out. So what did you think of this?
Well, first of all, I really want to play that game called The Gods of War. That sounds great.
No, I meant to say it in terms of the Gods of War, like those type of like heavy hitters.
I know. This is great, especially for anyone that's picking up the system at launch. It gives them a whole bunch of stuff to play, because we know that a lot of launch titles, whether or not it's Deathloop or other games, just honestly, both consoles have kind of a bit of a weak lineup, especially Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
So this is great. And the thing that surprised me the most is the fact that you got some pretty prominent third-party big hitters. So whether or not it's Monster Hunter World or Persona 5.
Yeah.
They're the things that surprised me, because when they started showing off all this first-party Sony stuff, it's like, okay, that makes sense. Cool, they've got the the ability to do what they want with this stuff, and then suddenly they show those. And they even had, I think, Arkham Knight in there, which interestingly left Game Pass like a month ago or something like that. So it was really, I think it's great. It'll be interesting to see, as you've mentioned, what happens with this service, if it is something that's limited or not. I really hope that it is something that, kind of doesn't exclude the people that weren't able to get something right at launch because the pre-order, we've already gone through the whole pre-order debacle. So if it is very limited, let's say for the first 3 months, but people can't get a hold of one for 3 months because of all these issues, it kind of sucks for that. But hey, it's a nice addition, especially considering it's not something that you have to pay more for if you've already got PlayStation Plus, which not everyone does have. I think it's great.
Yeah, like, so if I was to predict it, I am almost certain it's going to be limited. And I think your point is very accurate that, Sony keeps denying this, but it just seems like they are not able to produce as much stock as they would want to. They kind of said the other day that they have more stock available than they did for the PlayStation 3, I think. Or I don't think they were saying for PlayStation 4. I think they were actually saying PlayStation 3, but it might have been PlayStation 4. But they don't seem to be able to keep up with demand, and the fact that even EB Games in Australia, who actually are pretty good with giving you an insight as to how much stock there really is out there, the fact that they're running out of their 2021 allocation early 2021 shows that like there's not enough stock for the demand. So I think if they felt confident that everyone could get one within the first, say, 3 months, then they probably would have given it an end date of, say, the end of March. But, they don't want to get that backlash. So I think they're holding off and waiting to see, supply versus demand. And, once it gets to a level where it's fair, maybe in December they'll come out and say, actually, like this is going to run out in April or June or even March again. I can't imagine a world where this will be permanent. Like those licenses are just like the Monster Hunter Worlds. Like that's Capcom's biggest game ever. Like including Street Fighter, Resident Evil, all these games. Like there's no way that they'll allow that to be free permanently as part of PlayStation Plus. Like it just doesn't make sense. So it's a great incentive. And the thing that I wanted to ask you in this segment was really like, is something like this compelling to you? Because like a lot of these games are the exact games that you haven't played because you're not in that Sony ecosystem, and sort of like, hey, here's 18 games, and pretty much I can imagine a world where you play 15 of the 18, like excluding the ones that you would have already played because it was cross-gen. But is that something that makes you go, oh, okay, it's kind of interesting, or you're just so bolted on with the achievements you can't move?
Yeah, well, that's less about, in this case, about the achievements. Like that's obviously a reason for me to stick with the Microsoft ecosystem. But I've mentioned before that